Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly forecast for May 23rd to 29th. This is for Taurus, Sun, and Rising. Now, while this is a general reading, I use tarot, obviously, my guides, and astrology to lead your reading. And the reason that I use astrology is because astrology and tarot go hand in hand. Now, Taurus, come on. How crazy has this month been for you, right? It's been insane. A lot of changes. May has been a very active month, and I'm not going to lie, May 23rd to 29th is going to be probably the most active of the month. Now, it's going to be a little crazy. First of all, can we just start with the fact that Mercury went retrograde the same day Jupiter went to Aries on May 10, all right? And then we had that very, very dramatic full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 15th. It was really emotionally draining. It was very deep. But listen, that's still affecting everything happening, okay? And for this week, listen, there's good stuff, there's bad stuff, there's trines, there's sextiles, there's conjunctions, there's squares, there's everything that you can think of is happening this week. But the biggest news is that Mars is on May 24th. Mars is going into Aries. That means Jupiter, Venus, and Mars is going to be in Aries. But then Venus goes into Taurus 4 days later on the 29th in your sign. It's almost like if you were to karate kick a door open, and you don't realize it's on hinges and it swings back shut in your face. That's kind of like how this week is going to feel like. It's like a tug of war. It's going to be a little wild, a little chaotic. It'll feel like once you have something going, you feel like you have to pause a bit. Something else happens. This week is going to be wild. It is going to be chaotic. It might be a little confusing. So listen, theme of the week, tarot and chill, all right? Because it might be a little intense, all right? Things are going to be crazy. But, and we'll talk about this next week, but there is going to be a Gemini new moon. That really is, with all the other alignments happening, it really does feel like a fresh new beginning. And we're going to be getting out of that craziness of all the planets and their domicile. I mean, there's like, 4 planets in their domicile this week, which is a little crazy. So anyway, Taurus, we are going to just go ahead and do your reading, see what's up for this week. There is a lot happening, like I said, for you particularly too. Remember, there is a lot of activity still going on with Taurus. So let's get started. Here's a reading for May 23rd to 29th. Now, Taurus, I do the traditional Celtic cross spread. If you want to book a personal reading, because this is the spread that my clients prefer, if you want to book a personal reading, you know where to find me. Secondly, if this is your first time to my channel, it would be great if you like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow in a huge, huge way. All right, Taurus. So here we go. Let's see what we've got for you. Now, Taurus, I like what I see. Listen, I'm not going to lie. This is crazy. Your mind has been going a million miles a minute, hasn't it? Dang. Gosh. Okay, so we have a lot of courts. We have 2 major arcanas. Pretty significant week for you. Let's get started. Knight of Swords. When I said your mind is going a million miles a minute, I mean, that really is like fiery energy here. This is all about intellect too. So it's just your mind is racing. And listen, that eclipse that we had in Scorpio, that was in your 7th house of partnerships. That was so emotional, that was deep, and it really affected you, okay? So there could have been some sort of ending or conclusion that you had to endure, or that you had to put in motion, or that you set in motion, all right? Or it could have happened to you, but that really triggered your mind to start thinking about different things. And listen, all that activity that was in your sign in April, we're still feeling that for you, all right, Taurus? So your mind is going a million miles a minute, okay? But again, remember I said this week is all about tarot and chill, because it's got to get a little bit more chaotic. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a little wild. And so you did get the Knight of Wands as well. That's 2 knights. Very fiery, very, 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 very fiery energy. I mean, you can't get any more fiery than this, first of all, okay? Knight is fire, Wands is fire, this is fire, fire, fire. This is all about your career. There's a lot of movement in your career, but also, like, I am getting the energy, Taurus, that there's a lot of focus in terms of your personal growth as well. Your identity, who you are, where you are in your life. Do I love my job? Do I love my partner? Do I love the city that I work in? Do I love the industry that I work in? Do I want to dye my hair blue? Do I want to get a dog? There's so many questions going on in your mind, and it's crazy because I feel like things are happening fast for you, okay? And it's going to continue to happen fast this week. You might see a lot of progress in terms of work, okay? This one thing I want to point out about the Knight of Wands is that this is very transformative energy, okay? Next level transformative. You can see the symbol of the salamander all over his shirt. Traditionally, salamanders was all about transformation, but you got 2 nights in a row. So boom, boom, boom. This is fiery, okay? King of Cups, okay? That came up in your challenge area. So a little bit of slowing down, try to slow down, try to be a little bit in touch with your emotional side. You can see the King of Cups is the most emotionally stable. His throne is literally on top of water. That's how stable he is, all right? And so there's a lot of energy here, though. This is psychic energy. This is, emotional energy, creative energy. Things may be happening a lot so fast for you this week, or they may be so intense, or they just may be like so chaotic and all over the place. Stay in tune with your emotional side, okay? Don't let it blind you emotionally. Don't let it trip you up emotionally, okay? You want to be in that spot, and I feel like you feel maybe a little disconnect there, okay? Some Taurus is going to feel that this week. It's fine, okay? We're moving into a good place. I mean, it is emotional, all right? But there's a lot of psychic energy happening here, too. And when I say psychic, it really means like intuitive, all right? And so you did pull the High Priestess, okay? Not only did you pull the High Priestess, you pulled the Moon. 2 of the biggest cards about intuition, all right? So first let's start with the High Priestess, okay? You're spending a lot of time with yourself. I did say that you are going through some personal growth moments, and there is a lot of you being in tune with yourself and knowing who you are, knowing what you want moving forward. You have gone through it. The past 2 months, you have gone through it, Taurus. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of up and downs, a lot of ups, though, okay? Keep that in mind. The positive, a lot of ups. We're still going to go up. The reason why, there is a lot of mental motion, okay? Remember that I said you have 2 knights. First of all, Knight of Swords, I mean, you're coming out of that, but you're still moving fast. A lot of activity in your mind, intellectually. You know why? Because all of those planets in Aries is in your 12th house of your subconscious, okay? So remember, it is Venus, Jupiter, and Mars, all right? I had to remember that because there's so much. Anyway, so I'm not surprised that this is all coming up with you and your emotions and your intuition and your thoughts, okay? So High Priestesses, you really want to get to a point where you are really in tune with yourself and, really tap into your spiritual self. And when I say spiritual, listen, I say that very loosely, okay? It's just anything that really makes you feel grounded. You're a Taurus, you feel grounded, but sometimes, maybe this week, the you might not feel a little, you might feel a little like out of sorts. So this is really, I mean, she is the guardian of the subconscious, okay? And so this is really helpful, and this is really just in tune with what's happening astrologically for you, okay? Secondly, you did get the moon, all right? More intuitive energy. That Scorpio eclipse, I'm not even going to lie. The full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio really, really had an impact on you, Taurus, in a big way, all right? Partnerships, a lot of y'all probably ended relationships, okay? Maybe you stopped, you ended a certain job and got with another job. There's a lot of things that could have happened there, all right? So you're still coming in an emotional place, okay? There's a lot of, I feel like you, for some Taurus, I started this reading because I was getting the message that you really are going through a period of knowing wanting to know who you are, wanting to know what you want in life, wanting to know what you want to manifest if your job is right for you. all those questions that are very valid, okay? But this is a lot of like hidden secrets here, okay? And that's deep down inside. And I think that like you have to start being honest with yourself, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves and let's start trusting ourselves a little more, okay? One thing that I want to point out about the moon card, this is very important too, okay? You see two dogs here, right? Wrong. I always think that's funny. And I'm silly like that, but it's actually not two dogs, it's a dog and a wolf. This card really is all about evolution, okay? We have to go through those emotional journeys to evolve, okay? And it really does start with spending a lot of time with ourselves and really being intuitive and learning what our fears are, learning what our strengths are, learning what we're emotional about. We have to spend time with ourselves to move forward and to really understand that. Now, you did pull the Four of Pentacles. A lot of Taurus are thinking about investments, okay? You're thinking about some sort of an investment coming up this week, something, it really is financial, but, you know, for a lot of Taurus, I am getting the message. It's investments in other opportunities. It's investments in relationships. It's investments that have some sort of attachment to wealth or money, but also if that does not resonate for you, investments in your life, in your career, in what you want to do, okay? Now also, you could have spent a lot of money recently, Taurus, if you recently moved. Taurus, there was a lot of activity happening in April. I wouldn't be surprised if you did move, okay? There was a lot of activity happening. We did have that eclipse in your sign at the end of April, okay? April 30th. There was a lot of other stuff happening that time too. Jupiter, Venus conjunctions, Neptune conjunction, a lot of great stuff. So there could have been a period where, you know, you did spend a lot of money in the past few weeks. It could have been a marriage, it could have been a wedding, it could have been, you know, you bought a house, it could have been you bought a car. So right now you want to be careful with your money, but also for the Taurus that are thinking about investments, it is a good time, but just be very careful moving forward because remember, Mercury is in retrograde right now. Awesome. Okay, we are going to move on to your staff, Taurus. If you like this reading so far, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. I can't talk today. What is going on? I can't talk today. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And Taurus, I love you. So let's do it. Okay, so moving on to your staff, you got the Hangman. I really love this. I love what I see in this staff here, Taurus. I honestly, 3 major arcanas. This is going to be a big week for you, okay? A lot of things are going to be sent into motion for your future, all right? Pay attention to this week. Make the right decisions this week, but also spend time getting to know yourself and knowing what you want. Tap into your inner self, okay? Do a little bit of soul searching. Really spend time with yourself. Fine-tune everything that's on your mind, okay? Take a long walk your dog for about an hour, tune out, turn off your Spotify, turn off, you know, whatever. Just tune out, meditate, let it all come, all right? Now, you did get the Hangman, and the reason why I told you to spend time with yourself is because you're going to need to start looking for a new perspective, okay? That's funny because you probably thought I was going to say new job, but no, you don't. This is all about perspective. Now, the Hanged Man is, I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards, okay? This is just saying that things that were, things probably weren't working for you in the past. You kept hitting like a wall. Maybe things that worked for you, you know, in the way past were fine, but you fell into a routine that you got stuck and it got monotonous. What if I told you I can't talk today. It is Mercury in retrograde. That's messing with me. Monotonous, but this is all about just having a new vision, just looking at things in a different way, but also yourself. This is a very spiritual card too. You can see that he's being hanged in the sign of the cross, okay? There's a lot of spiritual connotations to this, okay? And again, remember, I don't want you to be spooked by the word spiritual. It just means take a look inside to know which path forward you want to take, all right? The Hanged Man, look, he's smiling. All right, he put himself there, y'all. He wanted to look at things in a new perspective because he wants this new approach forward. Okay, now listen. Taurus, you did pull the Three of Swords, okay? Now, this fell in your external factors area. There may be something that happens this week that is going to be a little heavy, okay? It may be something that affects you emotionally. Now, I already said that you're going through a lot mentally, okay? There's a lot going in your subconscious. There's a lot happening with you. You are in a pretty emotional state, okay? Venus is going into your sign. Things are we're moving beyond that, but there may be for some Taurus some things that you are going to feel a little pain about. And it could be something, I mean, it could be something major, so look out for that. But it could also be something very minor that still affects you emotionally. Okay, it could be it could be something like you had moved to a different city and you're starting to miss your old place. Okay, remember Mercury's in retrograde. A lot of things come back to the past. All right, it could be the relationship that you ended or you got out of. Maybe you're starting to think about that again, and you're probably thinking about, well, now who do I date? Or I don't want to start all over again. And there are a lot of things that could be happening, but just be aware that, and listen, I never do clarifiers for these journal spreads, but I'm just curious, and you did get another king, so that's really good, and I'm very happy for you. This is going to put you, so like I said earlier, how to evolve, you need to go through these emotional moments. This is just affirmation for it, okay? King of Swords, this is all about truth. I talked about truth earlier, okay? Knowing yourself, knowing your truth. Now listen, the King of Swords, what I love about the King of Swords, he is the only king out of the entire king, out of all the four kings, he's the only king that looks directly at you, okay? His head's not to the side like the other kings. This is all about truth. This is all about knowing himself. This is all about this Three of Swords clarifying by the King of Swords, okay? So, whatever happens, it is just truth coming to light. It is something that you had to experience, something you have to know for you to move forward, okay? Listen, Taurus, things are going to get better, and you got the Temperance, okay? I really do love Temperance card more than people actually give it credit for. I don't know if people give it less credit, but I've heard some people say that it is kind of like a boring card. No, it's not a boring card. This is a great card. This is all about balance and moderation, and that's what you want. You want things to be a little bit more leveled out, okay? I'm getting a huge message in terms of like the way you think and what's on your mind. I think that you want to clear a lot of that, okay? We want to take this sword and cut all the drama. Any of the swords you see here, we want to cut all that drama out of your life. You want to cut everything that you don't need in your life. You want to just cut it out now, right? We want to move forward. This path that you're on, moving forward, we want to be able to move forward with the things that we don't need, okay? We want to make room and space for new things to come, okay? And there is a lot of stuff coming. Remember, I said there's a lot of action for it now. You got another major arcana, you got the strength card, okay? And I'm not going to lie, this is a very, very powerful card. This is you finding that inner courage, okay? This is you finding that inner strength. One thing I'm going to point out is that you can see the sign of infinity overhead. And for this reading in particular, just know that you're being protected by the universe and you have infinite possibilities, okay? This is also like a lot of Taurus, this is going to resonate for a lot of Taurus that the strength is coming from someone else too, okay? Now, here's the thing about this card is you see that she is taming the lion here, but the strength really comes from their synergy, okay? It comes from the interaction. So a lot of Taurus, if you have to like find the inner strength through, maybe a parent, or maybe a friend, your best friend, or maybe your partner, or maybe even, a therapist, or, if you have a favorite like yoga instructor on YouTube or whatever it is, just you'll find it. And it came in your final alchemy area, so I am not worried about you at all, okay? So again, moving forward, we're in a good space. Spend some time, headspace, okay? Let's clear the headspace and spend time knowing who you are and knowing what you want, because when you know what you want, what your intuition becomes a lot stronger. When your intuition becomes a lot stronger, the path becomes a lot more clear. When the path becomes a lot more clear for you and you know your intuition and you know where you're at, you catch the attention of the universe and everything is just beautiful from that point forward. I really don't know why I can't talk today, but I hope that everything made sense. Taurus, I love you so much. I really do. I love Taurus so much. And listen, y'all are great. Okay? And, you know, also happy birthday because it's your birthday season. So, Taurus, always a pleasure. I'll see you next week.